What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Yesterday I was talking about 10 accomplishments, or in my previous episode, which President HH has achieved during his over 1 year in office. Today I'll be talking about 10 controversial developments. Whether controversial developments or things which are controversial which are happening in President HH's government. Top 10 controversial stuff. So I'll start with number 1. Okay. Number 1 most controversial thing happening in Zambia or in the government of President HH is the fact that, well, that's why it is called controversial. I'm not talking, yesterday I talked 10 straight points. 10 straight things. If you didn't, make sure you check it out, the video where I stated things which he has done exceptionally well, hands down. So number 1 controversy issue is number 1, the president not moving to State House. Yes, not living inside State House. So President Hakainde Hichilema happens to be the first president in Zambia to having to live outside the State House. Well, but he really does. He only move from his house every time he's going. So State House is just like his office, but he doesn't really live there. And this is now over a year plus now. Without going there. So this issue has been very controversial. Why am I saying controversial? Because there are a good number of people who are saying the president needs to live in State House so that he can be well protected, or the president needs to live in State House so that, it feels like he's really the president by living there. That house is meant for the president. On the other hand, there are other people in Zambia who feel, why should the president be forced to live in State House? He knows what he wants. It is his choice. Let him live where he feels like he is comfortable. I heard statements like the president can live wheresoever he feels he can live. For example, they are saying the former president used to live a lot also in State Lodge, which is east of Lusaka, where a lot of politicians, veteran politicians live. People also brought in points like if a president moves out of State House or out of town, they still find a way to sleep in lodges. So what is wrong with him? There are many reasons. Others are saying, well, State House is in a deplorable state for the president to live comfortably. That's why he has chosen his house. Others are also saying, well, this is just, I'm talking about the news in general. Others say, well, State House mulinyanga. In State House, the previous presidents or whatever, they left charms. So he is very careful with charms. So whichever reasons, so this is just, I'm just giving you the points which are controversial. Do you agree with me that you have heard of these issues? Any other issue, please let me know in the comment down below. Number 2 controversial issue happening in President HH's government, guys, is the acquisition of the Gulfstream 650 extended range, the presidential jet, which was bought by former President Edgar Lungu's government. The presidential jet. There are many opinions. I remember I did a video about it, and a lot of comments came. And the comments can still tell you. Just check in that previous video. People are saying that jet should be sold. Others are saying should not be sold. Well, I also gave my own opinion. As much as I love the president, I even voted for him, even campaigned for him. President HH, yes, the thing is that my opinion is that he should keep the jet. And by the way, there are many things which happens. Why I was using, we just gave examples of how he went to the US. He could not use one plane, he's not an ordinary person. He is the president. And then also selling that jet is like buying a car or a plane. Whether you buy a car today in the showroom, you drive it home. Even if you returned it 1 hour later, say you have changed your mind, that vehicle, you want to sell it, there are things which are known as depreciation. That vehicle has already become cheap. It starts losing value immediately. So you don't expect that plane to cost something cheaper. By the way, that plane could go coast to coast, intercontinental plane which can go any destination in one direction non-stop in the world without refueling. It's not just an ordinary. So that one is also a controversial issue happening in Zambia right now. It has got two parties. Others are supporting the sale of it because it was dubiously. Well, yes, some people were commenting. I remember I picked some of the comments. So where people were saying, well, if it was corruptly acquired, it was using stolen money, it should be kept. I mean, they should correct that error, but the jet already belongs to Zambia. Let them just keep it. Others were saying if HH doesn't want to sell it, others were saying this guy is used to selling things. That's why he was involved in privatization. Now he wants to sell the plane. All manner of talk on both sides. Yes, people can never stop talking. Another controversial thing, number 3, is the Zambia and Congo DR deal with the US government in the just ended US Africa summit, where people, you know, the controversial thing about the making of the vehicle, the EV batteries for vehicles. Why? Because Zambia has the minerals, and Congo DR. Can you imagine, of all the places in the world, God just deposited these things in our country, Zambia. How lucky are we? How blessed Zambia and the Congo DR is to have such kind of minerals. So this is another controversial issue which has got two parties. Others believe the president should not have agreed to make a deal with the US. They are imperialists. They are the real colonizers. They will just bulldoze their way to our resources. They can never be trusted. Others are saying, well, if it is handled well, this is a good issue. It's an opportunity for Zambia and the DRC Congo to develop. That is a controversial issue which is happening right now, ladies and gentlemen. So, number 4, another controversial development or issue going on in the country is the agriculture inputs. For example, last year it was not as bad. You know, ordinary people, there are certain things. I understand what is happening currently, but I can imagine an ordinary farmer in the village, they will not understand what is happening. There's a controversial issue of the president. Last year, the farming input, the fertilizer, the seed, whatever, they were distributed in good time. Why? Because they were started by the previous government. So by the time HH and the UPND were entering government, the resources were already in place. They were to be distributed to farmers and there were no problems. But this year, there are even threats of having not having a bumper harvest. There are even threats. Do I doubt that? I don't think so. I doubt it that the yields for this year will somehow go down. Although some people have exaggerated it and they're even saying there will even be a possible famine. The agriculture inputs for this year has been so bad, has not been good. Ordinary farmers didn't receive their agricultural input in time. Apart from receiving them in time, few people benefited. There were even issues where people were having to, instead of maybe a family or a person to receive 4 bags of fertilizer, decompound another 4 bags, maybe top dressing fertilizer. I find that they were literally sharing maybe a bag, something like that, which is so bad that one cannot be denied. So there is this issue of failure. Do I agree? as Traveltainment that indeed there was a failure. Certainly, I believe the president in that area, he didn't do a very good job. However, listen to me, because I'm a fair judge. I'll tell you, never listen what I'm telling you from a politician. A politician will be negative. The one in the opposition will completely disagree with the president. The one in the ruling party will just defend blindly like a headless chicken. That is how politics is done in Africa or in Zambia. But I'm going to tell you from my side. So now, from a government perspective, here is President HH who voted telling the farmers, you know what, I'm a farmer as well, guys. I'm a fellow farmer. I understand the challenges you are facing. So I'm the best person to handle your issues. So I know what I'm talking about. They voted for him and they believed him that he will sort out the agricultural issues. Being a big farmer, President is arguably the largest, one of the biggest cattle farmer in Zambia. Undoubtedly, he's one of the biggest pastoral farmers we have here in Zambia. So people trusted him, but alas, during this year, it didn't do well. So what were President's response to why the agriculture sector did not receive inputs in good time? He said, you know what, the previous regime had their own people. There was still a lot of corruption, and he cited millions of dollars which were rescued during the scrutinization process. So he was still trying to thin out. That's why he's saying people should test him based on next season's next farming season to test if he's going to fail or not. So that is the year 2023-2024 farming season. For 2022-2023, yes, the situation is not good because he had to stamp out corruption. They were still the suppliers of who came from the old government, the previous government, and a lot of corruption was involved. So that is what they were cleaning out. That is the defense the president has given. So it is what it is. Comment down below what you feel is the reason. Number 5, there have been some controversies, which is certainly true. I remember when President assumed power, there was a time they discovered that there were no drugs in hospital. One time the president had to rush to Ministry of Health, and for sure they discovered. So I don't know. So this is what is happening right now, guys, is that you find that in our Zambian hospitals there have been low supply, and what term can I use? The drugs in hospitals have not been consistent compared to the previous government. There was like almost a continuously supply of drugs. So like I'm saying, this thing I'm telling you, the one in government, they will defend it blindly like a headless chicken. The one in opposition will also be in extreme to just say, no, they have failed, also blindly. But a neutral person like me who will take from this side, and strike a balance. This is the truth which I'm telling you now. My balanced view is that I would say both of them have got a point. So President was saying, remember the Ministry of Health was surrounded by a lot of scandals, the honeybee scandal, whatever. So there were fears. But the truth remains, guys, even right now you go to hospitals, drugs are scarcely in abundance. They are not there. Most of the drugs, you find that some people, you go to the hospital, you find that certain drugs are not there. So that has been the complaint. So this is also another controversial issue happening in President Hakainde Hichilema's government, where people are complaining about drugs in hospitals. Most of them, when you go there, they are not given drugs. They will just be given prescriptions. Yes. Okay, number 6. In a little way, number 6. There has been very little, let me use the word very little, load shedding. Yeah, in this government, very little. You should listen to me the way when I say very little, it has not been bad. Of course, During the PF, they had started working on load shedding. It was very bad during their time. But now, every time the water levels go down, you find that the country begins to experience some load shedding of some kind because the water levels go down. But, I mean, it is what it is. Whatever is causing but the main reason what is causing the load shedding is normally when the rain season is starting or towards the end of towards the beginning of the rain season, when the water levels are still down, you find that electricity generation goes down because most of our electricity generated by the hydro power stations we have in Itezi, we have in Kariba. Yeah, I'd even made a video when I went to see Avonga between Zambia and Zimbabwe, where the water levels are like going down, things like that. So sometimes, so this is controversial, although the president one time he said when he came into office, we do know why we don't have load shedding, it's because of leadership. Well, it's a controversial matter. I don't think at the moment right now, whatever is causing the little bit of load shedding, sometimes it will be 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, but we had it in the past where there would be load shedding of even up to 10 hours or more than 10 hours in the past, but it is not as bad. That's why I used, listen to me, I used the word a little bit of load shedding. Number 7 controversial issue happening in the country is about the fuel increments. When President HH was in opposition, ladies and gentlemen, I think fuel was around 16, 17 kwacha per liter, which is like $1 per liter. He had promised the people, he promised us that when I become president, this fuel, you'll be buying it around 12 kwacha, he'll make it even cheaper. You see what I'm saying? Very, very balanced guy, isn't it, guys? I'm very balanced. So, he said the fuel will be so cheap. Then what happens down the line? HH becomes president. Things seem to like they're going to improve, and then boom! Fuel keeps increasing, guys. So from 17 kwacha, right now fuel is like 27 kwacha per liter. Fuel has like, it is almost the doubling of what he found it. Alas, it has brought a lot of controversy happening. Now, let's break it down. That's why I'm calling it controversial. There is a party which is supporting and justifying the increase. There is another party which is saying he just lied his way through to leadership to become president. So what is my opinion? Let me divide it. Those who are supporting that the fuel is justified to be increased, of course, comment down below if in the past 1 year in your country you've not had fuel increase. Are you in the US, Canada, Australia, Germany, anywhere you are watching from? Tell me if in the past 1 year you've not had at least once fuel increment. Comment down below if they have not increased fuel in your country, wherever you are in the world. So, what really necessitated this is the Ukraine, Russia war, which contributed almost, it's a worldwide thing. So, but do politicians care? Do people care? Ordinary people not even understand when you tell them. And you know, it is inevitable that the prices of goods and commodities, goods and services will normally be affected to go up when fuel keeps going up, because so fuel has been going up, so it has raised a lot of dust. And as usual, in opposition, people, the way we do politics in Africa or in Zambia, they will not look at the other side. They will just look, say, no, but you promised that it will be at 12 kwacha. Now look where it has gone. It is going towards doubling. You have failed. You lied to us. You know, everything is to the extreme. Am I saying HH is a perfect? Never. He's not perfect. In fact, I can imagine if HH was in opposition, he would do the same way. Have you seen that unfair? Why? Because when President HH as well used to do his politics during his time as well, he would criticize his opponents the same way. If possible, even worse. When they tell him, I still have him on record. Yes, I voted for him, and I feel he is still a better president than his predecessor. No doubt about it. But president as well used to do those underhand kind of politics. If you ask him, do you think this government show us one good thing? He would mark them 0 out of 100. So you agree? You see what I'm saying? Is that true? So that's what is happening. Okay, now we move to number 8. UPND cadres, they feel the president and the top leadership are not giving them a fair share and accusing the president that the president is helping people who never pushed him into power. Another controversial issues where they are blaming the president is not helping them enough, is not helping his youth, the people that fought for him to become president, so they are the ones, and they are saying he has picked ordinary people. Recently, over the weekend, I think Christmas, there was an issue of one of the alliance members known as Tabo Kawana who bought a car, which is said to be an expensive car, which maybe cost over $1 million kwacha and so forth. So the UPND cadres came for him, and they are saying, you see, these people were telling us to be patient enough before they can empower us, but they are now buying expensive cars, whether on loan or whatever. Why can't the same privilege be given to also other people who helped to form government? So that is what is happening. So some other cadres are complaining on the other side. So, yeah. Number 9, let's talk about tourism. The president, when he became also, the other thing which I feel is a bit controversial, is the president doing enough to advertise tourism in Zambia? Well, I don't think so. I don't think so. We'll see in the next year, maybe he will do better. I'm a vlogger, I'm Traveltainment. You know me, I travel, I advertise Zambia. So this one, I can't accuse him that I can't say that he has done very well where tourism is concerned in Zambia. Because I'll tell you, I go around, I've been to, out of the 10 provinces of Zambia, I've been to 9 provinces, but this year I'm going to go to everywhere. For example, I like to talk about tourism in Zambia, the good part of Zambia, national parks, waterfalls. For example, I'm going to one province which contains more waterfalls, which is in the northern region, more waterfalls than any other part of Zambia. I always say Zambia has got more than 100 waterfalls. That will be my job, which I'm going to do for you guys in the new year. That is why I still continue to say, if it is in your power to support me, please do support me, because as soon as we enter the new year, I'm hitting the road, guys. I must start bringing back-to-back content showing you what Zambia has to offer. So I feel the president has not done very good where tourism is done, although you feel he has done his part. For example, he invited the Rwandan president Paul Kagame, and they met in Livingstone. I'm sure you had seen a lot of photos where he was showing them the tourism potential, how they intend to work together, you know, do some stuff. If somebody comes in, you go to the Rwanda, you see what Rwanda has to offer. You come to Zambia again, you connect on the same scheme, like to come and see tourism in Zambia. You see, if the Rwanda people could advertise, I can imagine they give you an opportunity, guys. Rwanda has got well organized tourism and very expensive package. For example, to just go and see chimpanzee. Many people have gone to Rwanda, but do you know that they have not gone to see the chimpanzee? You know why? It's very expensive. Just watching chimpanzee in Rwanda is more expensive than just visiting maybe the whole package for the trip. I tend to laugh why these governments, for example, tourism, why I'm putting it at 0 effort. President HH in tourism this year, he has done 0. Let me not lie to you. Because how can countries where there are chimpanzees in the world, if they ask you which animals would you want to watch, Zambia, we have almost all the best. The big five: elephants, giraffes, buffaloes, leopards, lions. I've done lion walk where I've walked with the lions, touching the lions, stuff like that. We have all that in Zambia. We have 20 national parks which are packed with wild animals. We have 34 game management areas. Zambia has it all. The Victoria Falls and other more than 100 waterfalls are not advertised enough. Are his ministers and the Zambia tourism doing their best? I don't think so. They are not doing anything really positive. I hate to say this. That's why in my own way, guys, you will know in the near future the places I'm going to review with limited resources. I went to Lake Kashiba. Some of you have never seen Lake Kashiba. I went to show you, I've forgotten, what's the name of the waterfalls, which is along the Greatest Road, and I suspended it briefly. All my waterfalls tour. Why? Because after the rain season, that is when these waterfalls are at peak. So I'm going to show you. So what am I saying? These politicians can give speeches and speeches. The speeches, I was privileged to be born in the first government, during Kaunda government when I was born. So I have seen all governments. One of the things which politicians are good at is talking. So when a politician is talking, never open or never listen with all your ears. Just listen with one. Because politicians, most of the talk will just go through the window. So only give credit to a politician who has taken action. That is the one you give credit. So this is what I can tell you about that. So speeches have been there. We've heard many speeches from Kaunda to Chiruba to Mwanawasa to Rupia Banda to Edgar Lungu, President Michael Sata, and now HH. So when you are hearing, no, he has given a great speech. Nonsense. You are just hearing a speech. A speech only proves a politician right when they are taking action. And don't think that I'm just criticizing everything about the president. That's why I've told you, check out yesterday's video. I gave 10 credits, 10 great things which President HH has done. Okay, last not the least, let me talk about President HH has been criticized for pushing the opposition. The opposition leaders, they are accusing him that he's arresting a lot of his leaders. Is that true? Again, it's a controversial issue. Some people think that President HH, has been so much fixing. Yeah, they are using the word fixing instead of fixing the economy, because he promised that Bali will fix it. You fix the economy. He's busy fixing his fellow politicians. Is that true? I don't think so either. I think it is a two-way system. If he didn't, 3 days ago, remember I just said even if the man was not committed, you do not sign a bill into law where they are saying defamation of the president. He's even giving them more freedom. So a few people have been arrested. What HH went through during his opposition time, how the previous government arrested him. I'm telling you, all these guys, including the former president, they would be in jail by now. Trust me. So to say that no, he is trying to weaken the opposition is so unfair, arresting them, I don't think so. I don't think so. If he wanted by now, all those who offended him little things, by now they would be in jail. But you see, he's even making the law a little bit lighter by allowing them to speak, and he's not responding to everyone. So they have their rights they are using. They are enjoying relatively some freedom. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I end today's video. I'm at 29,200 subscribers. Guys, push me to 30,000 before the end of this year. Next year, I must hit 100K. I intend to travel Zambia, bring stories. My name is Traveltainment. That is all I do. Bring you positive stories, nice places in Zambia next year. That is what you should be on the lookout for, because I must reach 100K so that I'm able to manage. Before I can manage all my trips, I need your support, guys. Send me a WhatsApp, whatever contribution you can, so that I manage my trips. Better quality videos are coming, better places, waterfalls, national parks, Zambian heritage, culture, diversity, everything on the way. My name is Traveltainment. I'll see you in my next video. Adios, amigos.